for 3 month periods, like 30 months. I love that. Why do I love that? Well, 40 years ago, when I started in band, actually I started before that, but 40 years ago I was a 7th grader. And at Lakewood Junior High in West Palm Beach, in Lakewood, on the other coast. And last week I pulled out my yearbook. I like to show the kids what Mr. Owens looked like. And I don't like you. No, it doesn't. So, you know. But anyway, I was sitting there the other day and got this wild idea. I wonder if my junior high band director is still alive. And so I started this long morning search to find him. And so I called the town. They remember who he was, nobody knew who he was. So I got on the internet, searched his name, one of those search engines that cost $10.95. I wasn't going to pay that. But they give you a kind of hint to where these people might live. You've all seen it, you can look yourself up. Well, I found Mr. Larry Bono that lived in Lake Worth, and lived in West Palm, and lived in Gainesville, and lived in Mississippi, and lived in a place called Newberry. So I called West Palm Beach, wasn't there. Called Mississippi, wasn't there. Called Gainesville, wasn't there. So I called this little town called Newberry, which is up by Gainesville. And after 6 tries, this lady answered. I said, "Is Mr. Bono there?" She said, "Yeah, hang on." I said, "Oh, no, wait a minute." I've been talking to a lot of Mr. Bonos all day. And so I said, "I want to talk to Mr. Larry Bono, that was the band director at Lakewood Junior High School." And she said he was there. And I got to talk to him. And I got to thank him for giving me the gift of music. And I just loved that. And the weirdest thing was, he apologized to me. He said I wasn't the greatest band director. I said, "But you were. To me, you were everything." And that's what I'm hoping for these kids, that I'm everything that they ever wanted in a band director. When they leave here, they have a love for music. And so I hope you can sense that with how big the group is and how well they play. And more than that, they get along so well, and they like to be with each other. And I like that. And I hope you can rest assured that I'm taking care of them every day, and they're going to take care of each other all the way through high school. So I'm going to present to you now our concert band, who's going to play for you our 3 contest selections to start with that we played at contest. And Mr. Bono was invited to be here. He's 75 years old. He can't drive anymore. He said he gave up playing the sax 3 years ago. The other cool thing was, he said 15 years ago earlier, he called his high school band director, who was 95 years old, and got to speak to him. So I told the kids, don't wait 4 years. I don't know if I have that time. Being 52, I don't know if I have 40 years. So I'm thinking maybe a nice graduation invitation. You know, I'll give $5 or something. I don't know. With every kid, that would be a nice, I don't know, $2 each. But just come over and see me, you know. Okay, anyway, we're going to play Forward March, 2 Renaissance sketches, and Sing from Russia. They were supposed to move all that equipment while I was buying time. I don't have any more stories to tell. I know. You know, don't you? Did I tell you about the cards? How many bought cards? Oh, see, I see a lot of people don't have these cards. These are amazing. I tell you what, if you haven't bought one, you want to borrow mine for a night afterwards. Be ready. First person that comes up and borrow my card for the night, I'll get back with you tomorrow. Go get your 18 link and get your 10 free, and see if you don't get $7.99 off. It's almost paying for it. By the way, this is a great fundraiser, 50%. Yeah. How are you doing back there?
I love you. You don't know how to use it.
All right.
Every single time. I've already used it 6 times. It's awesome.
By the way, we did record them at contest, so we're going to send their contest tape to Disney World next year. That's going to be the piece that we send. So that taping is already done, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Are we good? All right, I got the good. Here we go. Now, we were looking for a third piece. We found this piece, Themes from Russia. And I do have some Russian children. I do have some Ukrainian children from in the band. And so we were looking for some inspiration pieces to inspire. So one of our students brought pictures from, I guess, from Russia. And it's everything that we as Americans think about when we think of old Soviet Russia. Little shack and ladies with scarves in their hair. It was just beautiful. The landscaping was great. The pictures were great. It gave us, and I passed the pictures all around to the kids, and they got to see. And so when we were text painting this song, I wanted to think about the beautiful side of Russia, and then the big military tanks. So hopefully you'll hear the military tanks. You'll kind of hear sounds from Russia that you associate with Russian music. And then, and so it's just going to be a back and forth. I hope you enjoyed it. Themes of Russia. what I'm most excited about is what's going to happen in 2 years. 2 years, your child in this band will be over to high school. Along with my good friend Mr. Wing, who's the band director over at Woodland, it's going to be an awesome program. With Mr. Bradley and Miss Keeney at the high school. How many are in band geeks out there at the high school or anything? Oh, there you go. No, I think you. It's going to be an awesome thing. I have to tell you that the drum bugle corps of the high school is no longer. It is now the Northport High School Alliance Marching Band, which opens the door for all the woodwinds to play. So the band's going to like triple in its number this coming year, but also giving new uniforms. So I can't wait to see that. It's going to be very excited. The kids are very excited. So I'm excited for them to be able to lead this program, step right in over there. They need your encouragement. Because when they get to high school, you can get them to something that you know where they're at, or good luck to you. So all I can do is hear, and once they leave here, that's up to you, and I'm trying to guide you to guide them. All right, train the child. All right, train up the child. All right, now we gotta have some fun. So, love this song from Tarzan. Hope you'll love it too. You'll be in my heart.
Forgot one more song. I don't know if I can hold the camera that much longer. Should have brought it. I can't see him if I'm over there. Mine's first boy on this second row. He's got the big long one. First boy on the second row. The white long shirt. Yeah, the glasses. Mine is on the same row. Or the one in the middle. Oh, right next to him. The next one. The down one. Gotcha.
I think we'll have to change that to our song. Love that. I like that better than Horace theme. All right, well, you know, I tried to do something special. This is real crazy. We're going to combine both hands for two songs. So, turn this way. Go here. Turn towards this evening. Well, I got these books. They're called Movie Favorites, Broadway Favorites, and Film Favorites. These are the two most popular songs that they like to play. I won't even tell you what this one is, but you got the program, you'll see it. You'll recognize it immediately. Did it come across okay out there? Did it? Okay, so when I get home, my wife will critique it instantly. As soon as we get home, honey, don't do that again. Well, we're going to do it again. Tommy, the number one, it's funny, these kids, you know, they're so hip and modern. They got their music. Nah, they're going back to our music. You're going to love this. Well, anybody with my age, 50 or older, you're going to love this. Our kind of music. Accidentally in Love from Shrek 2. Okay, thank you, Dante. By the way, this is our last song, and I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you about these cards. And we're looking for a cell phone, so if you found one, you'll give that to me. Okay? And all the chairs that are here, leave them right here. All the chairs here, you need to grab one chair and one stand, walk back there, and just keep walking through that hallway, hand me your chair and stand, and just keep walking straight on after. Okay? Because we have to set this up for tomorrow morning. Alright? Alright, here we go. Accident in Love, Shrek 2. I hope you enjoyed the evening. Give them one more applause before you go. And just so you know, I had you out in 45 minutes. If you can help with the stands and chairs,